You need to know, though, you're so worried with the way you look. You're sitting by me and I weigh 250. So if you're like, you're going to look dainty compared to me. You're worried about how you come across, but like being next to me in frame is actually helpful for you.
Let's begin back with the word dainty. I don't think anyone's looking at the screen thinking,
They are.
Boy, she's dainty.
Compared to me, yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Look at how much more. And I'm wearing this bright, loud shirt. You're blending in. It's like you're not even there.
Justin, nobody's thinking I'm not there.
It's like you're not even here.
That little Jennifer, where does she go? She's like two-dimensional up there. Yeah. I will say, I don't prefer this shot because it is all the way to my knees. I really prefer like more of a headshot, which we're used to.
You wanted to interview with them together.
I did. I wanted to interview with them together, so this is good.
So it's your fault.
It is my fault. So,
and it's like 1,000 degrees in here, and there's a leaf blower outside, and
we've got a lot of distractions, but we have a clear purpose.
I hope we're in focus. The last thing we recorded, you and I weren't in focus. We were just a blur because I can't get up and down and check things.
Did you use it?
It was fully focused on the plants right there. And yes, I did use it. It was a whole conversation with David and Denise.
We're blurred out. We just look like two big clumps, potted
just
clumps.
A blob, yeah.
That is hysterical. All right. So I guess we get started.
Yes.
Is this the part where we say, let's get started? Or you say, why don't we get started?
We should get started.
We should get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the City Rise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Kello. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we've kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. We're excited to have you here today. Thank you for tuning in, loading up, jumping on.
However you listen.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Justin, are you at the end of the boot?
So tomorrow I am supposed to be putting a little bit of weight on it using crutches, like where you like line the crutches up with your bad leg and walk around. And so, but then after that, it's going to be physical therapy. So I can start hobbling around, which is just in time for me to go to Universal Studios with my children next week on fall break. So I had to rent a scooter. So I'll be scooting around because the doctor was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
That would be absolutely
And I was like, well,
terrible.
you told me 5 weeks of recovery and
you
it's turned
fell.
into more like 8. But I thought at the end of 5 weeks, my foot would be like working. And he's like, oh, no, there's physical therapy. I was like, you didn't tell me this.
It's 5 weeks with no pressure on your foot.
I don't know. It's going to be an 8-week ordeal or more. So I rented a scooter, so we'll be fine. But yeah. So, but first of all, if you're listening or you're watching this, please like, share it, all those things. I have a question for you, Jennifer. You notoriously do not like being in pictures. You're very picky about how you look. You're
Justin,
very, very particular.
I know where this is going.
No, you don't.
Oh.
2 weeks ago, you did your first baby dedication at the church.
Yes.
And it was such a sweet moment with a sweet little family. Normally, Anna Lauren did that. Anna Lauren's now stepped out to start her new life in Dallas with her family. And so you've kind of stepped into the role of kind of shepherding these young families on Sunday mornings. And if you don't know, we bring them on stage, we pray for them, we recognize them.
Yes.
Anna Lauren was always really good about staying on the side, out of view of the moment. She was very demure. Very mindful. And what's so funny about you is you are so self-conscious about photos. You were standing there as if you were part of the family. You were so close to them. I could not get a photo without you in it. You're in every single picture because you were like up there like proud aunt or whatever, just standing there. And Anna Lauren, like I said, she would always stand off to the side.
I should have done that.
And you were just like right in the spotlight, right along, and you look great.
Hey, everybody.
You
I'm
look great.
Here.
But as I'm taking those pictures, I was like, Jennifer's going to be so mad at me, but I could not get you out of the shot because you were literally like hanging on the couple, I guess.
It's so funny. It's so funny because you don't think about those things in the moment. You want to make sure you're there. And I'm after this conversation, I will absolutely step back for the next baby dedication, which is in December. But you're right. I don't know why I basically joined their family.
Were in it.
Thankfully, I did not join the pictures in the lobby with the family.
Right, you did not do that. You stayed out of those, the pre-show photos. But
well, no, I wish do. Pardon my yawn. That's a nice late afternoon yawn. at WestU, they have this video running all the time. It's over and over and over again.
In the lobby.
And I'm in there praying. I look crazy. Every time now I come into the WestU building, I just see myself like passionately. And I ran into Christy. Oh man, why can't I remember Christy's last name? Christy Sylvester. And I said, "You look so good in the video. It's so good to see you." She goes, "That thing's up all the time." And I go, "Why wouldn't you like that? Why would it bother you? You look so good." And now I'm like,
this was the old video. The video
that thing is up all the time.
Yeah, the video retired.
So now, yeah.
Well, I will, in my defense, I send my editors just a pile of footage and I say, "Hey, I need you to make it look like this. Pick whatever footage you think is best." And they saw you and thought, this woman looks like she loves Jesus.
Well, I do love Jesus. And I was very intense in my prayer. Yeah. I never thought that it would end up in the big, It's
in the lobby scroll.
But here we are. Yeah. So.
What's new with you?
Well, we've got a lot of new team. And I have to say, God is so good. Justin, God is so good. I think sometimes we focus on, and this is just my little spiritual thing. I think a lot of times we forget that God can take care of so much, to put it on him, especially his ministry, especially the things that he is leading, And so giving these positions over to the Lord for him to bring people has been a huge, amazing blessing. And so today, I think you reached out to him. Did you reach out to my team and say you guys should come on?
I did.
So today you guys get to meet some of our new members of our kid team. So I'm really excited. Well, today I'm pretty excited about our guest because these two people have come into my life from me not knowing them out of a crowd of 4 to I'm with them every day, all the time now. Bless them. Bless them. But please introduce some of our new kid team. Elizabeth Lee, who is now the Associate Director of Children's at West University Baptist, City Rise, West U.
City Rise, West U, yeah.
Right.
West U Baptist.
Welcome, Elizabeth. And Emma Straub, who's now our City Rise Kids Administrative Assistant.
Yeah.
Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
We're so excited you're here. Let's begin by telling us.
I want to say this about how I met them, especially Elizabeth. So I knew Emma because Emma was on team this summer, and I was youth minister for her for maybe a year or two.
The student pastor.
So she knew who I was, and I knew who she was.
Right.
Elizabeth, I did not know you existed. I'm sorry, but
it's okay.
You were onboarding so many kids stuff teams so fast that we just stopped announcing their hires.
Right.
And so I'm down there, and these two women are clearing out your office. Like almost as if you were fired.
You're like,
you were not there.
You're like, I knew this was only a matter of time.
You were not there. Emma was there with Elizabeth. I had never seen Elizabeth before. No one had announced that we'd hired her. And I was like, does Jennifer still work here? And they go, kind of. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they said, well, she's officing at Bel Air until they get a full-time person. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I'm Justin. Who are you? And I looked at Elizabeth. She goes like, I'm Elizabeth. I'm the new Westview Kids Associate Director. I was like, oh, I'm glad you're here. I did not even know that you existed, but I'm glad that you do, because there was just such a high speed of like getting your team filled out.
Yes. And that's what I was explaining to Elizabeth. Normally there's so much fanfare.
Yes. They make you stand up in front of the staff. They add you to the group chat and they're saying, everybody welcome.
You're in the group
Elizabeth.
chat though, right?
I got into the group chat on the conference day.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah.
And another neat thing is normally we do a little cookie reception for you.
Oh.
That's coming. And then we announce you. You got a muffin?
Well, remember you brought the muffin.
Oh, well, we did have a muffin greeting.
Yeah.
I love a good muffin
Did you
greeting.
grow up in a church where usually a pastor, not necessarily just like an associate or an admin, when a pastor moved into town, they hosted a church pounding?
Yes. Have you guys ever been to a pounding?
So I've only heard the term pounding just recently.
Yes.
Well, it's not what it sounds like.
It sounds so violent.
It sounds like they're going over and they're just beating the jump.
It's like, it sounds like hazing is what it sounds like.
It does. In fact, when they say come to the pounding, I thought, I want no part of it.
Thank you.
This is a new pastor.
But it's where the whole church just brings you like canned and dried goods, like home stuff, cleaning stuff, just because you're in a new house and they just overwhelm you. And so my first two churches did that for me. And it's really great. It's really great.
It's really great. And they bring you food.
They bring you food, and this church does it too. They'll bring you meals.
I've never been pounded. I have gone to a couple for pastors.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really neat, meaningful, sweet hello.
We had spaghetti noodles that lasted us for 2.5 years.
We'll have to figure out a way to get you guys pounded. I don't know if you want straight up canned food. Oh, do you think it comes out of
now it would
pound
be gift
cakes?
cards. Now it should be gift cards.
For sure.
I like sardines.
Sardines. Wow.
Elizabeth, that is the most random.
Well, we're talking about canned goods.
If you're going to give me
is a
canned
canned
goods,
good.
let
I'm
it
telling
be
you what it
the
is.
curiously small sardines. My dad eats those.
Yeah, we kind of like if we were going somewhere, like maybe like football games and stuff like that, and like quick lunch or like just long road trips, crackers and like deviled ham or sardines.
What is your heritage?
Chinese.
Is that a Chinese thing?
No,
or
it's
you're-
my dad living in all his life in Houston.
Okay.
And
I was like,
My dad is not Chinese, but he loves sardines and crackers and deviled eggs.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
his
yeah. I
whole-
was about to say, that doesn't sound like
it
a
might
Chinese
be
tradition.
more so my dad, his family had a grocery store. And my dad's dad was a butcher.
Oh, wow.
And so maybe he was just
Nice.
raiding the whole entire store and
Yeah.
just trying everything. So
Yeah, maybe
You know what was always in a grocery store?
Are things that were probably going to expire that they brought
Yeah.
home? It's like, hey, nobody's eating sardines. I got to eat them.
When I was growing up in grocery stores, they always had these big giant jars. You know what I'm going to say, right?
Of candy?
Of pig's feet.
Oh.
And I've never done it. But first of all, grabbing a big pig's foot out of the jar alone. And it was always like a
I don't know.
pickled.
I have more fond memories for the lobster tank because
So
that's like
you've
a
never-
zoo. That's like an aquarium.
Sure.
the crabs,
Yeah.
just picking them up. And
Well, I didn't go to that cool of a grocery store.
Oh, well,
we were
I mean-
like in East Texas, and the lobster was like as exotic as we got,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
And he was named and had been there for 2
Yeah.
to 3 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Right. So that's Elizabeth. Emma. So Emma, I can tell you how I met Emma. And we had just been hit by one of these random hurricanes. I don't know if it was the straight line hurricane that's like a hurricane on water.
Oh,
it
right.
was a barrel.
Yeah.
It was Beryl. And we were in Torchy's line. Okay, let me just say that everyone was out of power and a lot of food.
Yes.
And so Torchy's, bless them, had the poor idea to open, and all of us were at Torchy's.
Yeah, it was like a
and they
2-hour
let you
wait.
know it was 40 minutes in line at Torchy's and 40
Wow.
minutes till you got your food.
Wow.
And everyone's like, cool, I have no air at home. I'll
sit
wait
here and
another
wait.
40 minutes
Yeah.
for my little
Did they let you
chocolate
get
chip.
access to the soda fountain though?
They did.
Oh,
They
that's
left
nice.
that. So I'm in line and I walk up to say hi to Jenny, who's our student, associate for girls, and Jenny Cortez. And she's standing next to this person, Emma. And I'm visiting with them and I'm cracking a couple of jokes because
Sure,
I
of course.
like to connect with the people, especially
course.
after natural disasters. And so Emma kind of giggles at what I say. And I'm like, I like her. She's a good giggler.
Yeah,
And I was like, Emma, what are you? It's nice to meet you. What are the goals of your life? No, I didn't say that. What did I say?
You
Emma?
said something like
you said
that.
you have a job. You said, do you want
How
a
did it go,
job?
Emma?
You said something like, "What are the goals in your life? Do you want a full-time job? Are you good with kids?"
This was in the first conversation. Wow.
Well, we were in
Interview,
this
right?
line for like 3
and Emma
days.
was already on staff. Like it's not like a stranger on the street.
Well,
She's
they
already worked
said,
at our church for a
here's
summer
our
internship.
Yes, she's one of our interns. I'm like, oh, what are you doing after this? Are you going back to school?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm taking a little break. And I'm like, bing, 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 bing. I'm like, what do you want to do with your life? And so it turned out that she was just in this space that would be a perfect fit
Yeah.
for one of our, for an admin.
I onboarded both these ladies with comms, and when Emma came in, I said, Emma, here's the deal.
Here we go. And I love that
said-
this is not going to be a
I
private
said,
conversation
"Here's
with
the
them.
deal."
It's going to be on the podcast.
I was like, Jennifer needs some help in this world. I was like, she's high energy, big
Emma,
thinker.
do you think I need help in this world?
Yeah, don't
Look
don't
at
answer
that big,
I said, I need you to be. I was like, and it's your job. You're
all
the
need some help.
administrator. Like you're
So
like
politically nice.
you're the businessy side of this ministry. Like you're the one that should be in the forms, in the deadlines. I was like, you got to keep this team on track because
That's funny.
they need it. And it is. I think
true.
it is fair to say that's the admin's job to be like, hey, by the way, there's a
Right.
form I got to fill, or hey, by the way, there's a deadline on this. Like
It's
that's
true.
That's not wrong to say that, but I was like, you really need to know that's your job.
You need to know
Like
that you're going to
that we
be.
need
This is
you.
a handling
that comms needs
situation.
you to handle this.
So then Emma came on and was so excited to have Emma. Now, Emma, you began working with the student ministry, but how did you come to City Rise?
So when I was in 7th grade is when I joined the youth group. I got invited by some friends and just spent the next 5 years in the youth group. And then I finally got my family to move fully to City Rise like 2 years ago. And we've been loving it ever since.
Yeah. She was in a real sweet group of girls that were like super tight because I was student pastor for a couple years while she was here. We had our brand new youth building, so it was awesome. But that group of girls was always there. Always together, like really tight knit, and it was Wednesday nights too, which it's hard to get Wednesday night commitment in a youth group. Like Sundays are one thing,
right?
But when you have Wednesday night kids who are like, I'm going to be there no matter what. Like it's really encouraging as a youth pastor to say, well, I know that they want to be here because they're here every week. Like you know, so but she was Shay in that group? I see Shay at Chicken Salad Chick all the time.
That's a call out right there.
I know, Chicken Salad Chick is the best.
So Emma, so that's how Emma got on. Elizabeth, we were looking really for Bel Air. I thought, well, I'll stay here at Wish 2 as long as they need me to. We just need to fill Bel Air because, Grossman was moving to Austin.
Because the plan was to hire two, because originally you handled one campus, but now you won't have two people handling the campuses.
And so,
or 3 with Missouri City.
Right. So all of those things are true. So Elizabeth, I was speaking to Mary Major on the phone, and we were talking about Wednesday nights and how children's choir was going to go. And I said, yeah, we're just looking for this role. She goes, have you talked to Elizabeth Lee? And I said, no, mostly because I've never heard of this person. And she said, well, she's in the choir. She said she's a voice major. She just graduated. She'd be a really good fit.
Wow.
Let me just say, Mary Major will solve your problems.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, then did I leave you a voicemail or a text?
Yes. I got a voicemail and then you texted too. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's nice to feel wanted. So I'm sure it wasn't a problem.
Here's your click for the background check. I need you to be here tomorrow around 9. So Elizabeth came and visited. And Elizabeth, tell us how you came to City Rise.
Well, it was a year ago from Tuesday, that it was my first Sunday here. I joined on with the choir, and they have a student singer program for college majors and doing major in music. And so Paul contacted me, or probably Ale contacted me, and so I had an interview that Wednesday and talked with Paul, and he was like, oh great, like this is what it is. And so I had a great time singing with them, and it was so lovely. The people are so lovely too.
It's a cult.
So you got credit for coming to church.
Total cult.
Yeah. You got college credit for coming to church. What a deal.
Yes.
What a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you're in the choir, and you're doing that program, and then you stayed on after the program
She's a
ended?
voice major.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I was creeping on her Facebook, and it was it was, I guess, one of your senior recitals, and I'm like, oh,
have both
that is
recitals on
amazing. Wow. So I'll creep on yours next, Emma. So Elizabeth was a voice major at Houston Christian
and was coming here for a
College?
program, and then stuck around because you loved it.
Houston Christian University, also known or previously known as HBU.
So you were just graduating, and then tell us about your next.
So the day I graduated, I get a message from Paul, and he goes like, congratulations, here's all the job listings at West U that you can look at, or at City Rise. And I was like, okay. And I did look through it. And I was like,
you didn't want to be an accountant?
No. But I was looking at the ACB stuff, and I was like, probably not. But Sunday school, maybe. I saw the full, well, actually, I don't think it was posted by then, but I was like, I had already done a summer before then at Tallowood Baptist Church for their children's ministry, and I absolutely loved it. But I had a best friend that was doing that same route the year before me, and so I kind of felt like that I was just following her and maybe not just doing it by myself or like on my own will. Mm-hmm. But growing up, I've always thought either music or children's ministry. Well, music ministry.
That's just like with me with ministry or dancing.
Yeah. Interpretive.
Yeah.
They're both like, what is that? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. So that summer I told Lisa Keeling at Tallowood, I said, well, I don't think children's ministry is the way to go. I think I'm going to try to focus on music. And so going through that whole entire summer, going to Ireland with the choir, and it was amazing. And then it was like 2 weeks after coming back from Ireland that I texted Paul, oh, I'm not going to be there Sunday, whatever. And he said, okay, I hope everything's going well. Here's the job listings again. And so I said, okay. And I looked through it, and then I saw the associate director position, and I said, maybe. Wow. I don't know if this is the right call. And so then you called me and texted me, and I said, oh, okay. Maybe God has a different agenda.
Mary and Paul had an agenda.
Yes.
They had a plan.
When I told Paul, I said,
but did they know that they would lose you in the choir?
That's the thing.
I don't think they thought it through.
He did not.
He thought, I'm going to secure her in my choir, and then she got the one job that she can't be in the choir.
I said, Paul, I'm going to talk to him, and Paul sat me down. So this is what's great about bringing on people that you already know. Yeah, is that the youth team individually came to me and said what a great fit Emma would be. Tim, Jenny, that other guy. No, I'm kidding. Grayson, Ashley. I'm kidding with Grayson. They all let me know she would be fit. The only funny comment I got was with Grayson. Grayson said, hey, I think she'd be really good, but if she's not, I don't want you to be upset with me. I was like, I'm definitely going to take it out. And so then Paul brought me in, and he sat me down and talked about how lovely Elizabeth had been. Yeah. And beautiful. So to have your own team, be able to say these would be great to team members. And then Paul said, I was leaving, and he goes, hey, before you go, how often do you think she might be in the choir?
I was like, never.
And I said, oh, yeah, thank you. Just pray about it with me, Paul. Let's just pray about it.
Yeah. And I knew that, that was always the problem. You're either in children's ministry or you can do music and everything
Eventually,
else.
I hope we can free her up to do a little bit here and there.
I mean, Alejandra really found the one sweet spot for a vocalist who wants to work here and stay in the choir. She is the music admin. It's expected that she be at everything musical.
And Ale went to school with Elizabeth. They're long, great, strong friends.
We took theory together.
So what's great about these two is they come with friends already. So they get along.
Yeah. They probably already had places to live, which is nice.
Thankfully, they get along with each other. Yeah. And then they both have people on staff they can talk to. Sure. If they're getting a little this is a lot.
Jennifer's a lot. Yeah.
Jennifer's a lot. And I am a lot. And I know that. So tell us, what are some things you're excited about being with the kid ministry coming on? You haven't been here very long, but what are some things you're excited about coming, seeing happen that you think would be cool to see happen?
I think I'm just excited to jump in and be with this ministry. Of course, I hadn't been in this particular ministry for I haven't touched it, but I'm jumping into this role. But I'm excited to see how the kids grow into loving Jesus. And that's my one goal, is to make sure that they love like Jesus and that they are loved by Jesus. They know that. And I think we have a lot of exciting things, some ideas that we're going to start and bring to life. And so I'm really excited about that.
And you are in charge at Westview Baptist on Sundays. You are the head of the children's ministry on Sundays. How has that been, going from not being a full-time children's worker to being the one that everybody expects to know all the solutions to every problem they have?
It's a lot of, I don't know. Let me get back to you.
Yeah. So let you do that. That's a little transition. I'll be coming back and forth eventually once we hire a Bel Air person. So I'll be over with her more often, in and out. But yes, she's the person. I think, and I was I don't know if I told them this, I didn't realize, I knew that I would miss it leaving Westview. I was really sad about it. Yeah. And I was excited to be back at Bel Air because I started at Bel Air. I was at Bel Air, I don't know, I want to say 8 years before I moved over.
I'm the only one who didn't go to this church before working at this church, apparently.
I went to the church, and I was at Bel Air before I moved to Westview. So it's been kind of cool to go back and see people. It's like watching them travel in time for 7 years.
And you got a nice new building, so that's not
It's a beautiful new building. Not at all. I love that. But I didn't realize that the kids would miss me or remember me, that I was gone. So that's been And so they'll come up and they're like, I miss seeing you, Miss Jennifer.
Well, I don't know what you're doing. Well, actually, I do. Bear loves church now because apparently whatever snack you're giving is really incredible. So the other day, Kristen wasn't feeling great. And I was like, well, I have to go to church, but y'all can just, stay home or whatever. And Bear's like, no, I want to go to church. I'm like, oh, Bear. He's like, he wants to go to church. And he's like, they've got the best snacks. And I was like, okay, well, I guess a win is a win, but
a win is a win. A win is a win. And so, Emma, what about you as you're thinking forward? And
I'm just excited to be a part of this team.
Look at that. Both of them have great answers.
I'm excited about the events we have coming up, like the gingerbread fall festival first. With this being our first events,
their first big event.
It's a big. It's second only to Easter, I think.
Yeah,
it's true.
As far as the size,
I'm excited for Easter. I'm interested.
I'm glad Easter is not your first event. This is a great.
That would be crazy.
This is a great mid-size event to start on. The Easter egg hunt is. It's monumental.
I remember when Lauren Grossman started, and her first day was the first day of VBS.
Okay, that's also tough too.
So she shows up, and she's already got on because we're doing these skits. It's the year that was worker, like it was construction,
concrete and cranes.
So I look over at Lauren. It's her first week with us, and she's in a worker jacket.
Yeah,
she has on a hard hat, and she's just sitting there like. This is she goes, this is a lot to take in. Do you think I'll get an email or something at this point? I was like, not this week, Lauren.
Yeah.
I think maybe next week you can think about getting an email.
Yeah, an email address, you mean.
She goes, do you think I'll get an email address? Or
onboarded
she's like
at all?
In a construction hat, straight to the stage for skits.
Yeah. No, I think the fall festival is going to be great. It's going to be exciting. It's at our Bel Air campus for the first time.
Yes, Justin. It's going to be so
little
beautiful.
Backyard area.
And we're doing the chili cook-off again.
I don't know if that's the huge draw. You're really excited about it, but it is always still 90 degrees, and we're all like layered up in costumes. No one attending is like, I can't wait to tear into this chili because we're already sweating. But you're like always so excited about it, like it is the one thing people come for.
It's the biggest draw.
It is not. It is not. I'm just going to assure you that it is not the biggest draw for
I'm excited about the chili cook-off, and we have the cupcake walk. We got the face painting. We got some bounce houses. We got some big games.
Lots of treats. Yeah.
Lots of treats.
Costume contest is a big deal.
It's true.
It is a big deal. And it's like every 45 minutes or something. So it's not just one contest. So it is a great event. Yes, it's on the 18th. I just want to plug it. It's on the 18th of October, 6 to 8 p.m. at Bel Air campus. It is a great thing to come to. It is the even better thing to bring friends to.
Yes.
It is such an easy way to introduce our church family to the community and say, this is what we do. Like we're not just like trapped in the four walls of our church, like singing songs and reading the Bible together. We love that part of our church, but we also go outside of it and host community events to minister to people and children. And so it's a really great thing to bring a neighbor to, whether they believe in God or not, or if they're looking for a church. It's a really, really great entry point for people with kids. And
it's free, except, if you want to buy a meal, I believe we just settled on $6 for pizza, drink, chips.
Yep.
Great.
$6.
Great deal.
You can't beat that now. Thank you, inflation.
Yeah.
So it's really good food. It's going to be great. I'm excited.
What are you doing for this event? Because I talk to these girls a lot, and I'm just like, what is Jennifer doing for this event?
Well, I'm helping decorate.
Okay,
I'm helping get the games together that we're going to have put up.
I love that.
I'm helping decorate.
Okay.
And I'm also helping... I think I'm helping get the games put up.
Great. That's a lot. That's at least
I'm also
things.
helping with volunteers. We've got to
That's huge. That's huge. How do we plug that? If you want to volunteer, email
Jennifer. We're going to send out definitely email Jennifer. Yeah. And we're going to send out a Sign Up Genius. But here's what they don't know yet, but they won't be surprised by. I am not great with Sign Up Genius. It is.
Our community lives and dies by it.
Should we...
They love it.
A Google form is fine.
We could probably do a
People
Google
love
form.
it. Listen, you can try that. I'm just telling you. The Sign Up Genius culture in this community is powerful. It's scary, but it is one of the first things I learned in student ministry. They were like, sign up Genius or die. They're like, that is how they
Well,
sign
I
up.
feel like we are moving in a little bit to Google Forms. You don't think so?
You can try.
All right.
You can try.
We'll do them both. We could do them both. No, we can't really.
No.
It would be too much. That's a bad idea.
I like Google stuff, but I just don't know if people. This was also 8 years ago, so maybe people have evolved.
I think they're moving ahead on the Google Forms.
Yeah, maybe
So anyway, we're about to make that. Please check that out. And comp, definitely. And if you want to enter the chili contest, that's probably the biggest thing.
It's what everybody comes for.
Obviously, it doesn't
According
matter
to
at
Jennifer.
all, according to you. But anyway, well, so here's the deal. At the end of the interview, we have a get to know you question. Last week, I brought a get to know you question.
And I had a better one, so I brought it up.
He vetoed my get to know you question.
I thought about it. You'd also already asked that question before. You don't remember, but I do.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I just wanted to cut it out.
Thanks for adding that whole.
And we got a really meaningful answer from our guest last week.
Did I even actually say the question out loud?
You did. It was like, what annoys your spouse the most that you do?
What do you think?
And my question was, what is the most meaningful moment of insignificance and health in your marriage? Which is far more compelling and also hadn't been done before.
Right.
But I don't have one today, so you were safe. I've got nothing.
Well, that's good to hear. I decided to come with nothing as well.
No way.
I thought Justin's going to definitely have a question.
No way.
He's going to have a get to know you question.
No.
Yeah. Well, no. I think that my question today is, just because we have the kids team here, what is maybe one of your favorite memories of? Tell us about what one of your favorite.
You're going to get there. You're really getting there. You've almost got a thought. You're almost there.
Tell us one of your favorite maybe fall memories as far as like.
And we'll go first. Your favorite fall memory of your life.
What's a favorite? Once that cold snap, that temperature drops.
Let me say this about fall, kind of related to what I was saying about chili. So women in general have this like, hey, as soon as we think fall is coming, the
sweater
ladies.
Weather.
Yes, y'all get out the boots,
Absolutely.
y'all get out the sweaters, y'all get out the scarves, which is what my wife does. But
Get the pumpkin.
And I don't care if she does that. If she wants to
spice.
sweat, I don't care what she does. But she also shifts into winter food when it is still 95 degrees. She bought
What is a food that you're not going to eat?
Soup, like stew.
hot soup.
Like she bought the supplies for stew 4 weeks ago.
Oh, dear.
Like we were barely into September. It wasn't 4 weeks, but it was like 2 weeks ago. And I can't complain because obviously she was shopping and whatever, but I make the food, but I make the dinner. And so I'm like, I cannot bring myself to make this meal. Like I'm sweating thinking about it. Like just rolling around the stupid scooter, I'm drenched in sweat. I'm not going to make this heavy
You're
stew
just making your
that is 1,000 degrees.
I had chili yesterday.
That's ridiculous.
I had
girls.
preemptive fall chili.
Women across the board are bad about that. And I love it for you. I never want to take that
Is
away.
this
But
your-
when it impacts me is a problem.
Is this your fall memory?
Yes, it is. I don't mind.
Clarify.
I don't mind if you drink pumpkin spice in August. I don't care. But if you make me
But don't
eat a
make
stew,
you stand over a boiling pot with a bay leaf floating in it and
favorite
expect
memory-
me to enjoy that.
favorite memory is the pagan celebration of Halloween as a child, which we don't speak of at this church.
Martin Luther.
But we used to celebrate this pagan holiday. We didn't know how terrible it was.
We had no idea.
Now we just go door to door, ask for candy on the 31st. We're not
Exactly.
celebrating Halloween.
So
But as
Halloween.
a child, my mother would hand sew all of our costumes. I mean,
Same.
we
Wow.
would show up and people would be amazed. And that was my mom could sew a lot of stuff, but she didn't have any girls. So like, she couldn't make the dresses. She couldn't do all that stuff. But like at Halloween, she was like, let's go. Like we had,
What's the
Let's
inspiration?
it was
Awesome.
July and we had to choose our Halloween costume because we had to go to Walmart. They had these filing cabinets with patterns in them.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that. I'm sure they don't. But they had filing cabinets with patterns
I
that
do
you would
remember
buy.
I do remember
And we
that.
would sift through and find what we wanted. And she spent the next 4 months making 4 boys unique handmade costume. We'd go to the costume at school and just embarrass other people. Because I would often have the handmade version of the store-bought garbage that my friend brought. Like my friend came as like spandex Power Ranger, and I came in like a legitimate handcrafted Power Ranger outfit, just embarrassing
You're
this
like,
child.
you're not even official. That
Yeah.
thing's paper.
Yes. So hands down favorite
Because
fall
you
memory.
came into it would be like a nylon piece and a big
Yes.
plastic.
But these were like
like costume pieces she made. Like they were really high quality. And that's one of my favorite memories.
I love the fall season. So I have two things I have to say. One is the first crisp day where you feel a
waiting on that.
Crisp, cool day is so invigorating. Sure. I love a good cold front. Living in Houston, when you hear about a cold front, everybody's like, there's a cold front. There's a cold front. And then you always have someone in there who's like, I don't like it cold. I like it warm. But anyway, first cold front. Okay. And then I loved growing up I don't know where else they did this, but they would have the county fair in the fall. And I grew up in Mississippi, and all the cute little girls would be in their boyfriend's Letterman jacket, and they'd be riding rides at the fair.
Riding rides that were on interstate an hour ago.
They were eating. They're eating cotton candy, and it was just like this quintessential like fall memory at this. And all I wanted to do was grow up and have a boyfriend for the fair. Like it's like if I could just get a boyfriend at the fair who's also on a football team and could let me wear his Letterman jacket. I thought then would I finally be
happy,
cool. Yeah, but yeah, my dad's like, Jennifer, we should get you a pig to show at this fair.
Did you show a pig?
No, I'm like, no. That doesn't work at all with my dreams.
Have you seen the girl that shows pigs on TikTok? Listen. It is serious business. I'm going to send it to you. It's serious business. This girl is all in.
But the fall fair, the rides, the cool air, it's very hope floats. All right, you guys, fall. What do you look forward to the most for fall?
Or look forward to, or
favorite memory. Favorite memory. Yeah, she changed it up on you, didn't she?
That's the first time I've ever adjusted a question in the middle.
Yeah.
My favorite memory is probably high school or even college for football games, being in the band. And so when it's October and once it gets cold, well, we call it Bandtober because that's when like all the competitions are and all that stuff. And once it gets cold, like usually in the heat after we take off our uniform because we're sweating and it's nasty, but then it's like cold and we're actually like, whoa, this is nice. And then,
it feels like football because on TV shows, football games are cold. But when you're a high schooler in Texas,
that's not the case.
It's not the case until November.
Yeah.
What was your band equipment piece?
Sousaphone, probably?
I guess we call that an instrument.
No. I played bass clarinet for 6.5 years. And then
they march bass clarinets?
In high school. High school, yes, they do. But I was...
You say that like it's shocking. Is this a bigger clarinet? Like
it is a bigger clarinet, and woodwinds in general are hard to hear on a marching band field. So that's why I was like, "Why? What does that add?" But I guess it's just more different,
more bass or more counter melody, like all the filler.
Like usually they hand clarinets a flag in the fall. Like, hey, just take this flag. Like we don't need you. Like is essentially what they do to the clarinets.
A bass clarinet.
Bass clarinet apparently is more valuable.
It's
that's cool. So the football game.
The football game is a great memory because
it is. Yeah, and especially like after you finish a whole your whole show, it's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah,
you've been doing all this marching and you're huffing and puffing, and you get back to the stage, the stands, and a few times we would have like hot cocoa, and like the parents would bring it, and it would be like so.
Third quarter, we always got a free soda and candy from the concession stand.
They took away the sodas when I got into high school, and they're just like, here's some Gatorade, or Gatorade Zero.
How dare they? Who cares if your clarinet gets all gummy with sugar? Right? You need a treat.
I'm kidding.
I love it.
All right, Emma.
My favorite memory is probably Thanksgiving.
It's another good one. Jeez Louise.
We usually do Thanksgiving in Aquila, Texas, a small town in West Texas. And we have this huge family reunion on my mom's side of the family. And it's like 100 plus people there. And we eat in this big barn dominium on my aunt's land.
Wow.
And it's so fun.
That's great.
Over 100 people for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That is a lot of dressing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I love Jesus, but I prefer Thanksgiving over any other holiday.
Do you mean Christmas? Is that your comment there, or Easter?
I'm saying I love, over really any other holiday.
Is it because of the food?
It's because of the food and the family with no expectations of like what Christmas
Yes.
comes with. You know, like I think that's not Jesus's fault that Christmas has gotten so out of hand, but Thanksgiving is very much at its root food and family, and there's really not much else you can do to mess it up.
Well, let me say this as someone who's on the kitchen side of that.
I'm on the cleanup kitchen.
Way prefers.
I'm on the cleanup
Christmas.
side. I
I
clean
think
up.
it's great that you clean
I
up,
clean up.
but it's like we have to have a meeting. We have to go
It
get the
can be
groceries. I mean,
intense.
it's intense.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, anyway.
Are you missing a meeting literally right now?
I know. Do we pause this so
No,
I can
who is
talk?
it?
It's
It's
Olivia.
Oh, she's fine. We're almost done. We're literally almost done. Then you and I will record our part. But
Okay,
like we just need
cool.
to say bye to them.
Anyway, man, thank you guys for visiting with us. Thank you for being with us.
Having us.
And if you want more information,
cityrise.org/kids is about our kids ministry.
Yes.
And then rate, review, subscribe. Send this to someone who is looking for a great kids ministry in the Houston area. This is a great way to get to know the bulk of our staff right now. We're still looking to hire one more person. If you're interested, cityrise.org/jobs is where you could apply to be the Bel Air Associate Kids Ministry Director.
right. Amen. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you, Justin. And we hope you have a wonderful fall. And we hope you had a not too terrible time on a not amazing podcast.
Why did you you did that? Ridiculous.
On an almost amazing. We hope you had an almost amazing panel. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing podcast. We got to do this more often if I'm going to remember everything.
That's true.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing podcast from the City Rise Network based in Houston, Texas. City Rise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.